Here we go. I told you, once again, we're back live in another show in 2021. This one is for you. Let's get it. We're about to dive right in right now for at least 3 minutes in some real important things about muscle memory. So the first thing we want to get into is what exactly is this term that we always speak of, and you hear us coaches say it, and those who are in combat. What is it? It's really the reprogramming of muscular fiber, which when you were born, you have the natural instincts like breathing and blinking and getting hungry, knowing what to do when someone, puts something in your face. It's a natural reaction. Well, in combat, you have to do the exact same thing with muscles. So here are some of the rules that go behind gaining muscle memory. The first thing that you'll note is it doesn't happen overnight. And that's the reason why I tell all of the guys who are watching not to try to take the content that you're seeing and thinking, okay, I'm gonna see this skill. We have 50 skills in the past 3 weeks that have gone up. There's no way you're going to learn them all. So why? Is because the reason being is once you see it does not mean an attempt. It does not mean you have it down. It's not like blinking. It's not your natural reaction. That's why people get knocked out when you see boxing matches, because there are certain things that they may not have mastered or have in their muscle memory. But knowing that you've done it in training camp does not mean that you have it embedded. Muscle memory does just because you're doing the exercise, which is why we're starting to put a lot of disclaimer on our training videos. So people don't think that just because you've attempted it and it looks good in mitts and it looks good when you're shadow boxing, that is secondary muscle memory. So right now I'm going to give you the key rule of muscle memory. Muscle memory, 10,000 hours. Hence is why great fighters like Lennox Lewis, like Vladimir Klitschko, Floyd, guys like Muhammad Ali, they knew these golden rules. Archie the Old Mongoose Mora, all great fighters know it. And they know that most fighters won't go through the windmill. And so if you think, okay, I can see these skills and I can do it. No, that's why we have our place. We provide content first and foremost. Content is what we give you so you can have a formula, right? Stay with me here. The formula is not the skill itself. The formula is what it takes to embody these skills. And that is these golden rules that I'm putting up. And we have to live by them. As bad as you want to jump off your impulse, you can't. And if you have any questions about that, understand our process isn't about what you see on these videos on social media. The videos are just to give you and enlighten you that there are skills like this that have an embodiment process that you have to get them inside, meaning like blinking. And for that, you got to understand that process. So the golden nuggets aren't the skills, the videos. The golden nugget is the process in which we ingrain it and show you how to do it. Hence is why we created a place and a safe haven for the trainers and the coaches and fighters as well, called the School of Boxing, where we chop it up like you and I are doing right now. our guys get an opportunity to ask questions and stuff, and we get to answer it and do virtual workshops. That's why we have it. So some of you have been asking about it. A lot of you ask us to come to gyms, but we're not a gym. We are institute of higher learning. Our education is much greater than what you see in those videos. So the videos is smoke and mirrors. It equates to nothing, just so you know. So you can share it, you can save it, you can tag your friends, but in the bottom line, the process is what matters most. So that's what's important about muscle memory. 10,000 hours in the process in which we lay it out in the school. These guys understand that, and that's why you see the victories, the Golden Gloves 2021. You know, our guys are going out there making it happen. So muscle memory, that was number one. The next topic is fundamentals. Now, I ask that if you have questions further, make sure that you do, because what we're going to do is take the people and start to formulate a group for the people who are on the page who want to a little more out of the skills and training. Now, we're not recruiting people who just want a bunch of free stuff. That's not what we're doing. We're doing with people who know that I do this for real and I want to really have a great pathway. My 3 generations and my 3 decades physically in the sport myself have given me these tools, and I'll be able to share them with you. So that's what we're going to create this group here for, making it very avid, giving you opportunities to have more clarity around what you're seeing. I hope that makes sense. Now, the cool thing is the fundamentals. How do you go about really getting the fundamentals down? And if I'll take any questions, if some of you have, like how you say it in an instruction on a higher learning, just like going to the boxing conference. It's just like that. Now in the conference that goes, you get to go for a couple of days. This is 365 days a year. Every day there's a different coach in a different scenario. Of course, over the weekend, we had coaches in the scenarios of being in the Golden Glove. So we made sure that they were prepped. Next month in July, we got a coach in the Olympics. We got to make sure that all of the necessary tools and the secret weapons will be unlocked and unleashed and shared, and the right conversations will be shared. That's what you can't get on the page. That's why the School of Boxing is the place. And great Terry Hill, that comment matters, because we need to make sure that we have like-minded people who are understanding that our focus is to make sure that we elevate the value in the education side of boxing. And not only that, we don't just educate. Our biggest thing is to take what you're learning and show you how to do it all, the business side, how to operate the business in the game of boxing, because it's so much. A lot of you will never know, and most of you won't get an opportunity. It's just a small percentage that will, and that's why we're here. So the fundamentals, here's a couple of the most key points. Do you have a specific online courses? Yes, Ahmed, we have the School of Boxing course. And once you get in, you know, you have all of the tools that you ever need. You'll have guidance. You'll have other team members, fraternity of sorts, and you go through quarter by quarter until you get done in seeing all of the stuff. And it's really ongoing. You have access to the material that we have and offer that you'll need. And you'll have access to other athletes, coaches, and personal trainers who are in the same situation and scenario. So we chop it up. We're a fraternity brother. I want my hashtags from all of the brothers from TSOB, the School of Boxing. That's what we do. We support one another. We take it further than this. It's just a family, and that's kind of what it is. So if you're looking to get into the School of Boxing, visit theschoolofboxing.com and go up to the site, and it kind of will tell you everything, and just kind of register and open up that portal. And it's a bevy of just, you're going to be just totally knocked off your feet, floored. The School of Boxing is nothing to play with. You will just be like a kid inside of a Snicker bar candy store. It's just insane. Is there any specific contact you an email address? Yes, you can contact us at support@masterboxingllc.com. Someone will put it in the comment box, and email us. We have great customer support. We take care of our people. It's a beautiful opportunity to continue to give another person the pearls of wisdom. So that's why we find it so unique, and so much of a beautiful opportunity to engage with you here. This isn't just about business. I love building community. That's what I did when I was a trainer, and that's what I'm doing now. So this page isn't a page you just come and take off content. This is a page that you building a brotherhood. All right. So yes. So you'll get a message down here in the comments. So scroll down in the comments and you'll see how to email us, and someone will get right back to you, and we'll get you taken care of, and make sure you're clear on everything. And not everybody has the mindset of learning. Some people just think you can really learn this stuff by looking at video clips, and that's what they're doing in their basement, hoping and wishing. But and those people, that's not, the school is not for them. The course is not for them. The course is for people who want to learn more. They want to experience higher learning across the board. Because if you're ever thinking about training, you better make sure that you have the tools, because there's so much about boxing that you don't know. You'll freak out. When I've never been to boxing class. How long does it take for me to be able to shadow box once I start? And isn't that a loaded question? How long will it take you? That's the question. It's all about not worrying about how long you'll take. The question is understanding what it takes to even move at all, having the stuff in front of you, saying I'm dedicated to practicing. Now you got other people that'll support you. And another surprise at the end of the show that I'm going to unveil for you all is so awesome too. And I've been wanting to do it, but I couldn't find the right time. But the perfect time is now. So once again, this opportunity, you all will have an opportunity to just flip out with this. So key thing is what I'm going to show you now is, what does it look like when you have some form of a structure in your program, right? And so with that being said, this is how some of our guys get it popping throughout the week. So I'm going to show you this. And this is one of the training camp guides that we use, which is called the 6-week training camp guide. So in this guide, what you get to see is there a bevy of regimens that they get to take part in on a daily basis, right? So week 1, here are some of the things that you will get an opportunity to see and take part in, which is great. You know, your footwork training, your basic fundamentals. When you get into the School of Boxing, this is how you go about it. And we go through a progressive thing, and you get practical training. Our system is equipped to not only have the most extensive library, but the most extensive process that's most efficient with executing and getting you truly solid results in where you're trying to go and how you're going to get there. So the manner in which we give you really solid tips and processes, and giving you enough that you can actually learn it in one spell bite. It's powerful to have this And this is a secret weapon. And this is what the guys have that the other coaches don't. That's why it's really hard for, I don't care how much experience you have, to come into or against a solid coach who's being educated and educating his fighters when they are equipped like this. And this thing goes on and on. Just this one alone, this is the first month that the guys get to experience inside of the school of boxing. It's just not a place where people just, oh, well, we just go in there. No, you're getting educated. You know, your punch logistics, it's diced up so that you can digest it. And then you have practical lessons. And we do workshops when you get stuck in a place. So each day, man, day 4, you're learning how to train and prepare and develop in a skill set of sparring. So with that being said, this is kind of how we get it popping. So with that being said, now I might pull up a couple of questions. I think I might have some questions. How do I keep my hands up when sparring in late rounds? In my gym, we spar for 3 rounds. And by the 3rd round, I start dropping my hands. What can I do? Muscle memory and continue to work on it. And that's what I mean. If you don't have a process in place, it's just not going to happen. You'll be 18 fights into being a professional fighter and you'll still have that habit. It's because the process in which you're doing, it's not grooming you enough, or you're just not at the point where the muscle memory is settled in. So we do that that training camp. We go into those workshops to talk specifically about that. In the school of boxing, the school of boxing basically always has these protocols for scenarios like that. And a lot of times your muscle memory just has not settled in. So we have specific drills and techniques, and your coach should as well, to help you get over that, because that 3rd round makes more difference than the first 2 rounds. It's irrelevant if you won the first 2 rounds if you get knocked out because your hands was down in the 3rd round. And we saw that over and over again in the amateurs and in the professional ranks, obviously. So hopefully, Stephen James, that made sense. Keep working on that 3rd round. Run hard. Do your jump rope, shadow box, turn your intensity level up in your training, so that 3rd round, you're conditioned to do that. Repeat that 3rd round. Make that 3rd round a 4th round. All right. When you're doing your sparring. And if you really need to have something to follow this conversation up, go up this weekend, the 4th of July sale, and order the download titled The Art of Sparring on our website. That is the Bible of boxing and sparring. It comes with a training guide that in that guide, you will turn the pages, and one of the elite world champion fighters that's fighting in the UFC is going in there. It has been in the training camp with that art of sparring guide. I won't say which side that person is on. Just note that the stuff that we're putting out is being used at the highest of levels. That training guide of the art of sparring is not only there, but it will be in the 2021 Olympics. All right. Used by one of our coaches. It's a beautiful rendition of how sparring really needs to be broken down for the combat athlete. And it doesn't matter if you're MMA or boxing, because it's in 2 cycles of under 2 umbrellas just in the next 2 weeks. That's how important the art of sparring video download and training guide is. And it's together. So when you get one, it comes with that guide, and that guide is a Bible. is the best thing happening, period, point blank. It's one of my favorites. So that's what you can do. And like I said, or you can just keep trying to figure it out on the job and going over to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and or you can keep doing that. But I'd like you to take a moment and realize you put it on the screen, so it's serious to you. And I want to make sure that you guys have the right tools. It's for me, it's not about the business of it. It's about the sport, the quality of our sport. I'm doing well, but the quality of our sport has to get to that level, from the training to the fighters, so that there are more athletes who are looked at as solid fighters. So there's more fighting going on. That's good. I want to see some quality fights. So great question, Stephen. Curtis, what's going on, coach? It's all good. Put your hashtag, the School of Boxing, brother. What are the main points to successful breakdown fights and study fights and fighters? Learning boxing. That is, man. That's a great question too. Not to be funny. That is. You got it. That's what we do the fight show breakdown for. So we've taken the opportunity now to do It's Time to Box. In the last fight that we're going to do, I want you guys to come on board with me and score. So we will score these 3 rounds. Each round is a minute. I'm going to let them play, pause, let you score. Type it in the comment box, red or blue. This is one of the outstanding fights from the 2021 South Florida Golden Gloves over the weekend. I found that it was very important that we share this with you. I did stream a couple of matches over the weekend, but this one was, man, the skill set was very, very on point. So I want to kind of let you share it with me. Let's see what this looks like. Get your score, get your pens ready. Red or blue? Let's get it. Let's get it. Score that round, score the round. Now score the next one.
You first. Always you first. Yeah, come on.
All right, give me your scores. Give me your scores. Let's get it. Let's get it.
You first, Dennis. Come on.
Okay, I want you to put your scores in there, and I want to know who you think won this fight, red or blue corner. That's all I want to see. And from now till tomorrow, I'll be going down this line and finding out. I'm time stamping it. East Coast time is 12:53. I'll know who came after the fact and tried to cheat and put their scores down. So any score that's after that is irrelevant because you will have seen it. Now, what I'm about to do is let you see who won the fight based upon what you saw and understanding effective punches landing. And amateur boxing is an entirely different thing. And when you get to the tournaments like the Golden Gloves, it's even more difficult to figure it out. That's why in the School of Boxing, we make sure that the guys understand all of these new things and nuances that they're going to run into during these scenarios. Now, before I show you who won the fight, I will answer this question because it's a good question from Yusuf. How many boxing classes should I go to as a beginner in a week, as I don't want injuries? Well, you don't need to box. You need to do boxing fitness classes. Seriously, and I'm not joking. You're going to get injured in boxing. That's just what's going to happen. Nobody fights and nobody plays football. Nobody plays sports. Serena Williams just went down on the tennis court in the first round yesterday. You're going to get injured if you play sports of any kind. So just note that if you're not serious about boxing, you're definitely more or less, you need to go to like 9 rounds, those kind of boxing fitness places and title boxing where they don't have competitive sparring. And when you're doing that, you can go 2 to 3 times a week so you don't get injured. But your technique and how you go about training is the thing that matters if you get injured or not. Now let's see who won this fight. See how good you guys are with your scores. All right. I saw that was good. You got it. Blue corner. So, but to me, young Buck did enough to become what I call the outstanding fighter. Why? Because he showed me more wrinkles and more things in his boxing game at an amateur level at the weight of 125 that I'd seen all night, even with much more experienced fighters. He was in the pocket using his shell. My son says he specifically to him, he did not show enough defense of prowess, but you're going to get hit in an amateur tournament, especially when it's so many bouts that they have to cut the rounds to 1 minute rounds. So that's why the fight went so quick. But understanding that defensive prowess, man, is important. He needs to learn how to do the catch, and he needs to learn that in boxing, in tournament time, you gotta have the recipe. And one of the key recipes is at the end of the night, the 1, 2, 3 gets it done in round number 3. And that was the advice that I gave him. And he was very gracious to get that advice. Unfortunately, his coaches didn't tell him that. And 90% of the time, that's going to be the case. Coaches just undereducated. They might know boxing, and I don't knock anybody. But when you're standing next to master boxing, you're standing next to a master, a pure professor. So with that information that we give them, you can take it to the bank, cash it in, and you can put it in your pipe and smoke it because it is 1,000% platinum, bottom line. And I put everything on that. Yeah, it's very cool. Coach, you reading the comments? Yes, I'm reading the comments, champ. I would say the first round. So, Ahmad, you got it right, buddy. Blue corner won. The footwork, head movement, and angles, very sharp, wasn't it, Stephen James? very sharp young kid, and I felt like he did enough. True Red Fighter had better looking boxing, but he wasn't aggressive enough. And that's a good point. And that's the kind of information that we share with the guys after the fact. You know, during the fight, you want to win the fight, so you need to know the information, and that's why we have such great programming. Now, to one of the things that I knew that was going to be so awesome for you to take part in, and what is that? Let me see. That was the South Florida Golden Gloves. For everybody watching, know this, that we are doing a special when it comes down to giving you as the fans, the boxing aficionados, the opportunity to show us your skill set. So you think you have skills, send us your footage, 60 seconds or less. Send us your footage for a chance to have it aired on the show. You can email us at support@masterboxingllc.com and have your time to shine in the sun. And if your skill set makes the show, we will gracefully give you a scholarship into the School of Boxing, where you can really learn and take your skill set to the next level. Skill is one thing, process is the next thing. And then we in the School of Boxing, we embrace the process, and because that is what creates that separation from us and the rest of the pack is the higher learning component. That education, man, it's advantageous to you over the long haul. And you don't have to learn things the hard way. We tell you before the fact of the matter. Our guys are getting ready to prep for the regionals, which are tougher. So with that being said, reach out to us if you are in that position where you don't just want to have skills and you don't just want to rely on going into what we call the world of YouTube and Facebook learning, because the skills aren't only one part of it. Skill sets, 10,000 hour. You know you're not sticking to your drills long enough to master that. And that's how you become a boxing wizard, a boxing purist, a pugilist, a boxing. That is powerful. That's what we're going to do. Give you the opportunity to come on board. So reach out to us and make sure that you take full advantage of this weekend 4th of July sale. This is specifically one of the greater opportunities, and it's the last sale and opportunity you will have to purchase any of our digital downloads from this day forward. After this week, all downloads will be up into our new website that'll be launching in mid-July. It's going to be lights out, and all of the prices are going up exponentially. So now you have an opportunity to get the stuff at a lower price. And here are some of your favorite digital downloads that we will share to you right now and make it very obvious for you to make these decisions and decide. If you have a question about certain things, just let us know. These are some of your favorites. These are the hotter ticket items. The 4th of July sale, the footwork series. You got to have that. You saw a little video of the 6-week training camp yesterday, a little post that I did with Glenn, and he said, this is my Bible. And this what we refer to as the boxing Bible, because it has the 100 years of boxing lineage in it. So it dates all the way back to the beginning, from the Jack Johnson era. It is so loaded, I can't even begin. But that tool itself just totally, it takes your boxing cachet to an entirely different level. The Peekaboo Volume Series, so it's Volume 1 and 2. And that's where you'll find that Peekaboo Punch Performance, Art of Sparring, which is what I was telling you guys about, Philly Shell, volume series. Is 2 of them. So if I was you, I'd be out there taking advantage. We also have Heavy Back for Power Legends Edition, where you have styles like Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, Floyd Patterson, all of those greats, or just that bag training workout is banana. So that's kind of what it is, man, and that's for you. So take advantage of it. If you have any aspirations to do yourself a holiday special, make sure you get that, because it is going down. Let me see. Stop screen sharing. I'm in the building. So this is a loaded show, and make sure, if you're looking to do your thing, send your skills. And this is our edition of So You Think You Can Box. Let's see what you got, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and I hope you tagged a friend that would appreciate this type show, where you really learn something and get behind the camera and get behind the set of what we do in the real sport and education of boxing. Remember, once again, we are not a gym. We're an educational institute that provides the content that will take your game to the next level and teach you the entire sport of boxing. Until next time, continue blessings, and I'll holler at you guys and see you in the winner's circle. Peace out, man.